Okay, so today we're going to talk about gauge, and I have this lovely little swatch that I knit up for all y'all people. And I started using size 9 needles, US size 9. And I'm kind of a loose knitter, so that might be the kind of gauge that someone with size 10 or 11 needles might get. But then I went up to 11, right here, and then up to 17, which these needles are not needles that I bought on my own. They were given to me by an English teacher assistant. But I went up the ways like that, and then I added a few more strands of yarn to get back up to the relative density, because you can see here that it's very loose and there's a lot of space between all the stitches I can put my fingers through them. And I can put my fingers through here too, but I have to try a little harder. But it's denser, whereas this is a whole heck of a lot looser. But it's down here it's very dense, because it's a tighter gauge. But here it's nice, a nice happy medium. And that is achieved by knitting with a variety of thicknesses of needles. As a beginning knitter, I didn't realize the importance of gauge, and I just kind of went for it, doing whatever at whatever tension, and I had more or less success, but once I finally grasped the importance of gauge and how to understand and fully utilize it, it totally changed my knitting experience forever. So, I'll impart to you guys a little bit of knowledge. I never increased or decreased any stitches, and I started down here and went up here, and the only thing I did was change needle size. I kept doing the same pattern and everything. And size 9, size 11, size 17. So the beginning cast on edge is 6.5-ish. The cables, pull it in a little. And then the ending edge is 16. So you can see that's a, large difference. So even if I'm doing it, with the same thickness of yarn, but just a bigger needle size, it's 4 inches wider. So it's important to get the proper gauge for what you're trying to make and the yarn also. So if I had a thicker yarn or a thinner yarn, go up or down needle sizes. And what you want to do whenever you're making a thing, like for instance a hat, is you want to measure first your gauge and then the size of your own head, or whoever's head you're making it for. So I have kind of a small hat size, I'm about 22. And you want to round up or down depending on how snug of a fit or how loose of a fit you want. Like a nice big snuggly warm winter hat is always good, like big and cozy. But a tighter, cotton skull cap kind of a thing, you would want to stay closer to your actual head size. But with the big warm cozy hat, you want to go up or down a couple of stitches, or up a couple of stitches. But this is swatch for a sweater that I'm going to be making, and it's going to be the panel for the front part, and I'm going to take my gauge from here because this is the tension I want it to be at. So my gauge will be, because it always recommends that you do for 4 inches, and I'm really lazy and I'll just do 1 inch, but then I get 3 stitches to the inch. So you should really go up to 4 and average it all together. So how many is that? 6, 8, 9. So 9 stitches to 4 inches. Good. And then you measure your body and all the things. And for sweaters you round up a lot. Like a lot. So that they're big and cozy. So I'll probably go with 37. That was 33. But this is just the front panel. There's a lot to figure out with that. But gauge is important because otherwise you're just going to end up with these random largenesses and smallnesses, and that's not really what you want. So getting proper gauge and then measuring the thing that you're making the thing for and correlating the two is very important.